Welcome to this week's Whole Week Costa. Today we're doing the Whole Week Costa Clone Wars TV show recap, and today we're going to talk about episodes Trespass and the Hidden Enemy. Kev, you want to start with Trespass?
Yeah, so Trespass. So it's episode 15 in season 1. Republic outpost overrun. The Jedi have lost all contact with the clone security force stationed on the bleak, snow-covered planet of Ortu Platonia. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker, accompanied by dignitaries from the nearby moon of Pantora, are set to investigate the disappearance of the clone troopers on the desolate and forbidding landscape.
Yeah, so let's just start out like it is very like I really like this episode because it shows you like how much like power can go to someone's head with actually no power, little to no power.
Well, no, I think the guy's probably pretty powerful. I think he's probably in charge of that. I don't know if he's in charge. Yeah, I guess he's in charge of that star system, right? Because the idea is this is a moon in that star system. But to us, I guess watching the whole Galactic Republic, he doesn't seem that important. But for him, he probably would be a pretty important person on his home world. But still, he sort of forgets himself that that he does serve that there is a larger civilization that he is a part of as well, and he really disregards his senator from the Senate and bullies her. And I guess that kind of makes sense in his head though, because I I wonder how much interaction he does have with the larger galaxy versus just ruling this one individual star system.
Yeah.
I feel like we're used to when we see local leaders that they're really deferential to the Republic and the galaxy at whole and the Jedi, but I would guess there probably actually are probably a lot of star systems that don't really care about you know, the larger galaxy and just only care about their local star system or their local planet. So it's just one of those guys. It's probably actually realistic that we finally seen someone with that sort of attitude.
Yeah, well, his name is Chairman Chicho, and it's like it's one of those things like he's using this uh, galaxy long war to try to like get more territory for his planet. So like he has his planet's best interest at heart, but or star system at heart, but then on the other hand, like he doesn't care about you know the consequences of his actions.
It's kind of interesting actually because I guess they have it's Chairman Chicho and Senator Rio Chuchi, and I feel like they have sort of like Eastern sounding names, and I wonder if it's supposed to invoke that at all, because I guess China in particular had a really isolationist sort of standpoint for a really long time. Obviously now they're a big global stage player, but this is just a really isolationist star system that again probably doesn't want that much to do with the outer world. They want to rule their own star system. They've I guess the common knowledge, and I think that's the case. I think the knowledge was that there wasn't anyone on that planet. I think it was a surprise. Like I don't think the chairman knew that there was life on that planet and ignored it. I think it was a surprise, but it went against his beliefs, so he just disregarded it and had no interest in actually doing the right thing with that knowledge or giving up control of that planet or working with that planet. He just wanted to keep it as an outpost of his home planet.
Well, yeah, he was adamant that they were foreigners, like they came there and like tried to inhabit, and Obi-Wan tells him no, they don't have they don't have the intelligence or technology to like have spaceships. And he's like, no, no, they definitely came here, from a different star system. Like we have to get them off the planet.
Yeah, I don't know, and it was interesting. It was two episodes this week that both were sort of mystery episodes. The beginning is really good, where you have the clone troopers dead, and then the separatist troopers are dead as well, and it's like, oh, what's it going to be? It actually turned out to be, I don't know, not that interesting of a resolution to the mystery part of it. It was like, oh, there are people on the planet already. I guess I was hoping for something more mysterious in the end, but
Right.
at least the mystery in the beginning was a really good way to start the episode. And then you had these like Skyrim like people. I forget who like the the bird people were that were in Skyrim, but that's sort of what they reminded me of. I guess because since we're on like an ice planet as well.
No, they remind me of like just abominable snowmen. Like that's what it reminded me with really weird mouths.
I guess they were they were ice chupacabra. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think this was a pretty interesting perspective, you know. And then we see the young senator who's bullied by, I guess, the leader of her home planet, you know. And I guess there, and again, this is a conflict that probably happens a lot more. This is the first time we've really seen it, where you know, depending on the planet's respect for the Senate and the galactic civilization as a whole, there probably would be a lot of conflict between the galactic senator and the local leader. You know, in a place that was really deferential, you know, or maybe a place that was like that was a more central planet that was closer to, you know, the home base of the Senate. You know, I'll bet the senator has a lot more power, and the leaders are really deferential to them versus on these more outer rim planets. I don't know exactly where this planet is in relation, but I get the sense it's further out. But I'll bet on those sorts of planets, you know, the senator doesn't have a lot of power, and it's just sort of like a middle management job. They have to report to the Senate, but the local leader probably, you know, is the one really in charge.
Yeah. This reminded me, especially like Obi-Wan's stance, and I guess the Republic Republic stance on it. It's sort of like Star Trek's Prime Directive, where like they're not allowed to interfere in in they're not allowed to feel interfere in the alien civilizations, where it's like, you know, they like if they try to put a base on a planet and they see that they have alien civilizations there, no matter how evolved they are, they have to leave it alone. Like they can't just go there unless the alien civilization like invites them, like wants the Federation to be a part of their culture and everything.
Yeah, yeah, definitely some interesting implications in this episode. You know, although we got a little bit more back to the movie, like, you know, galactic politics.
Yeah.
You know, that's that was really the big twist of this episode was like, oh, they're fighting. It's like, oh, well, how can we go along the proper chain of command to stop these events?
Yeah, well,
That's,
I'm surprised Padme didn't show up and give her
yeah,
2 cents.
it's like, well, the Speaker of the House. It's like, oh man,
Yeah, it's 20 minutes of them, being very boring and just talking about politics.
basically.
But,
Oh
you
no,
know, I think the episode was, like, better than that. It was a pretty good episode, though.
yeah, it actually was a really good episode, and like you felt bad both for the local people, you know, like after the chairman attacked, then I did have that thought, like, well, how are they going to possibly get them to have peace, you know, to agree to a peace settlement now after they lied to them? Which, you know, the whole peace thing's a little disingenuous because I think this is what happens in the real world too, is that, well, the way they got to negotiate peace was to come with an overwhelming army when they landed all those ships, basically. You know, so it's like, oh, we can have peace as long as it's still clear who the stronger or more powerful people is. Like,
Right.
you know,
It's peace and subjugation. It's not like peace between it's not even peace, it's peace and subjugation. That's all it is.
yeah, exactly. They were letting the Tals live, basically,
Yeah.
and you know, but I mean, both sides wanted peace, but it's not really. Yeah, it. You know, it's still very one sided. It could be changed at any time.
Okay. So, that's all I really have to say about that episode.
Yeah, I agree. So, episode
Yep.
16, the hidden enemy. I realized last time that I read the plot summary instead of the official description, which I will read again. A planet under siege, separatist forces mercilessly batter the beautiful and elegant world of Christophsis. Unable to defend themselves any longer, the people of Christophsis call upon the Jedi for assistance. Hoping to save lives and prevent further destruction, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker plan a daring ambush which can turn the tide in the fight for this crucial star system.
Yeah, I really you know, like a couple other episodes, I really like this episode, especially the ending with the clone troopers. when they talk about like, well, why'd you do this? I wanted real freedom. So I think that's one of the themes in this whole series is freedom. Like everybody's fighting for their own sense of freedom.
Yeah, it's interesting because we saw that a few episodes ago, when they were transporting that traitor, and the non clone, um, what was it, like Senate guard basically, that like Praetorian guard sort of
Yeah,
guy.
the guy in the blue armor.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
blue armor, blonde hair, kind of wavy. He when he betrayed the Republic and basically said, well, this isn't something that a clone would understand. Um, you know, since he was born from basically a high ranking guard family, and was sort of destined for greatness, wasn't just bred as a clone. But now we see that's actually not true. The clones feel the same way. Again, sort of more reinforcing that the clones are regular people, even though they were raised a certain way and indoctrinated a certain way. They still are people. And this just sort of reinforces that in a different way. Not only are they people on the normal emotions, but they're also people that they can do bad things as well.
Right. It's once again, it's an argument of nature versus nurture. It's their nature to be like fearless fighters, but then they travel the galaxy probably more than most people in the galaxy ever have, and they meet different people, and they live on different planets. So they really see a different life other than the life that they were bred into.
Yeah. I read something too. Apparently, this episode might lead into the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah, there's a Clone Wars. It's a Clone Wars cartoon movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I I think the movie might be next in the continuity. I'm trying to see where I saw that again in the article I was reading here.
So I mean, next week will probably be about that. But I do, again, it's like this clone has sold the information to be free, and the separatists have set up a trap for Anakin and Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan and Anakin go, okay, we're gonna go fall into this trap to see who did it, and lo and behold, it's Ventress.
So does Obi-Wan have a thing for Ventress, or is it just like some sort of rivalry? And he just likes fighting her, or were they flirting? Like I couldn't really tell because he's so sarcastic all the time. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, it was very weird, like because we haven't actually in the Clone Wars. If you just watch it, chronologically, like you watch it and you haven't really seen them flirting or anything. And she kind of seductively takes off her cloak and she's like, "Oh, hey,
Yeah,
Obi-Wan." You're like, weird. You're an enemy, I guess. I guess you're attractive to Obi-Wan.
I mean they do show her ass a lot. I mean, when they first revealed her, a few episodes ago, I think the shot that she comes in is like her walking into the room from behind, and then here, yeah, she does seductively take her cloak off, and then Obi-Wan has like a little bit of a smile. I mean, I guess I don't know, like what would like if you regularly came across you know alien races, would you in some way find them attractive? I don't know what race Ventress is, but say you lived on another planet that had like humanoid people, but they weren't human. Like, do
Right.
you think you'd eventually find an attractiveness for
I
non-humans?
I think like you could find an attractiveness, but intimacy is like a different thing. Like you would definitely have to go to their library and see if your parts match up. So, like
Yeah.
non-intimate attractiveness, yes. Companionship, probably so. But like anything past that, like I don't even know if it's possible.
Well, was in the new in the newest movie, right? Rise of Skywalker. Doesn't Poe have a like that he had a relationship with a non-human race?
No, she was human.
Okay, I couldn't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, the lady in the red, right?
Yeah, I think that's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, she was a human.
Like, and then like it's kind of hard when you think about it cartoon wise, right? Because like I don't know. I mean, I guess Ventress. I guess nothing weird would be about Ventress, right? Because I'm thinking from like a hair perspective, right? Because like um for like Ahsoka, right? Like is her hair? You know what I mean? Like that, like so like if if you had like a live action Ahsoka, because I think in the cartoon, she's just a girl, but I think you would picture her hair just as like thick hair, um, but like what's that really made out of? If you had like a live action, so if you had something of like Ahsoka's race, would it be much weirder, in real life versus what the cartoon version looks like? If that makes sense.
So looking up, they are definitely a humanoid, and Ventress definitely has hair. She just shaves her head. It looks like.
Did you know that Howie Mandel? I just learned this. He is not bald. He shaves his head because of his germophobia and makes him feel cleaner.
Yeah, I've read that too before. So
Yeah, we watched a movie last night from like the '80s, and we realized that the character was Howie Mandel. I didn't even know, but unrelated. But I guess semi-related to Ventress. Howie Mandel confirmed. Howie Mandel will play Ventress in the live-action remake because they're both bald.
I don't think that's confirmed.
Confirmed. Breaking news on Holy Costa. That's our first breaking story. Disney insiders confirm.
I'll accept it.
Yeah. I listen to a Disney YouTube channel, so it's kind of like we have Disney insiders. They didn't say this, but still. Now, did you know that it was Slick as soon as he went to their barracks and started interviewing them, and he wanted to talk to his troops alone?
Yeah, I kind of got that feeling that it was Slick, and then and then they point the blame on the guy because he's keeping the clanker ears, and he's like, and I'm like, it's probably Slick because he keeps going, oh, I want to talk to my guys, I want to talk to my guys, and Slick's kind of a badass. He tumbles it. He instead of grabbing a gun, he just tumbles out of a door without a gun, right next to all the guns.
Yeah, he kind of is. I mean, to take on Rex and Cody, I mean, those guys are both pretty tough. I really wanted them to just kill him, honestly. I mean, I guess that would have been pretty brutal, but I feel like we've seen plenty of dead clones in Clone Wars. I guess it was always a little bit. Can't think of the word I'm looking for. Like it's a little bit abstract. Like you just see like them with the helmet on get killed. Like you don't see any. I don't know that we've seen any really violent deaths. Like Cody just blowing his head off with the with the blaster. I guess.
But no. But here's the thing: you have to show. See, the clones and the Jedi and the Republic, they're the moral high ground. They can't just do that. They can't be judge, jury, and executioner. They have to have their own separate, like, okay, now we have to judge him for his crimes. The jury has to, do this. And then the executioner, they have to have this moral high ground to show that they're still good. Whereas the Sith, we want them to be bad. Where like, Dooku would just cut his head off for like betraying him. Or, Grievous would just smash his head off for betraying him. Or somebody would hit his head off for betraying them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't want them to just do that to begin with, but I believe it was I believe it was Rex. Like he had taken the gun off of Rex and had him at gunpoint. Like at that point, I feel like I just sort of like Cody just to shoot him because, why sacrifice your own guy for this traitor?
Right. Yeah. I mean, when they're fighting after they're in captivity, like you can't just do that. But while they're fighting, I probably would just shot him in the back. I'm like, all right, we're good.
Yeah. So that was my dark side leanings for this episode. I was frustrated when they just kept wrestling and the guy and he almost got away for like the third time, and I'm like, just kill him at this point.
Yeah. You could tell he's dangerous.
Exactly. Like at this point, we've given him a fair shot to give up. He's not giving up. He's dangerous. He's going to kill one of you guys.
So far, definitely these 2 episodes were better than the episodes the last week, which were, like, kinda not that fun. And then next week, I think we'll just watch the Clone Wars movie and talk about that.
Yeah, I think so. That oh yeah, it has to be on Disney Plus as well. Yeah, we'll figure out after the episode. I want to find that thing where it said about it being the next thing chronologically. So that should be pretty interesting. Also, I'll have to get up earlier next Sunday to watch it.
Yeah, so alright, well, that's it for me, Kev.
Yeah, me too.
Alright. For Kev, I'm Jay. Thanks for listening to this week's Holy Costa. You can catch us on, YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcast. Yeah, so, check us out, please.